Good morning from Melbourne. How you going, guys? Mark here from We Travel Alone. This morning finds me on St Kilda Road in Melbourne, actually, at the Chinese Consular Visa Service Office. As you may or may not know, our daughter lives in China, and she's actually just come home for the first 2 weeks. Really short trip. Flew in last Friday. Today's Monday, so we're in Melbourne Friday to pick her up. We're back in Melbourne today because, big news, she's decided that instead of staying there on a cultural exchange, she's going to study, which is really exciting news for her and really exciting news for us. She's going to study how to speak, read and write Mandarin for the next 12 months. This is a really big opportunity for her at the University of Qingdao to study this, because it opens the doors for a lot of things for her in the future. She could be an interpreter, she could work for a consulate, she could be a teacher in China that teaches English, because once she can understand what people are saying and writing, then she can teach them how to speak English, or alternatively she can come back to Australia and teach Chinese to Australians or Americans or any English speakers. So it's really exciting news for her. Looks a bit exciting for me and her mother as well, that she's home for a couple of weeks. It's nice to see her back in Australia. I mean, we only just seen her not even, actually 4 or 5 weeks ago when we were in Qingdao, China visiting her. So we're running back and forward for the next couple of weeks to Melbourne, because the story is she's got to submit this visa application for her student visa in China. The consulate here, obviously in Melbourne, hold it, and then they're going to process it. She's going to pay extra money because she wants it processed quickly, because she's got to fly home in 2 weeks' time. So once this visa's approved, we'll have to come back and then pick up the visa again, obviously, and then back home, because our town is about 2 hours away from Melbourne. And then next week on the Friday, she flies home again. So we'll be back and forth to Melbourne a few times. Just having a latte here. This is really nice. Just outside the consulate building here at 570 St Kilda Road is a really nice cafe. Just adjusting, because I actually think the sound's probably going to be pretty crap on this, because there's a bit of wind going on out here. So for the first time I've tried to connect my DJI speaker to my telephone, only because I was stupida, as I would say, and I brought my DJI Osmo to film with, but left the SIM card in my computer because I was processing some footage that way. So silly me, but these things happen, don't it? So after we've come to here, because she's going to now stay in China long term, or longer than what the expectation was, we're going to go to the Bank of China, the branch here in Melbourne, and she's going to get some paperwork and hopefully open an account. And actually I might get some paperwork too and take it home, and me and Bec might open a bank account at the Bank of China as well, just because I assume that with what Willow's wanting to do in China, we'll be back and forth to China on a regular basis over the next few years, or however long she's living there anyway. I can imagine that we'll be going there at least once a year, if not more, to see her. So it pays to have a Chinese bank account. At the moment we use a Wise card, which is a travel money card. Look, it's really good, but it still costs you conversions and things like that. It's on the smaller side for the fees when it comes to conversions, but hey, it still costs you a conversion. So we may as well see if we can get a Bank of China account as well, and be able to put in some money already in RMB, because you sometimes get a little bit robbed when you use money that's not RMB. The other day I booked a flight that was in Chinese currency, and I charged it to my ANZ Visa card here in Australia and ended up paying about $70 in conversion, which $70, man, that's a lot of money. Like, I could go out for tea, I could be buying beers in China, you know, we could go on a tour. There could be many things that we could be doing with that $70 besides paying it to airlines and banks. So it sort of makes me mad. You know, if every flight I book costs me $70 in fees, well, pretty quickly that's a free flight going somewhere that I can take that I don't need to pay for. But you know, that's the world we're stuck in. If you could just do bank transfer or QR coding such as WeChat and Alipay, it'd all be good, but we can't. So I'm going to sit here and enjoy the rest of my coffee and wait for my daughter to come out of the consulate there and actually just watch the traffic go by here on St Kilda Road in Melbourne. It's one of the busier thoroughfares and it leads straight into Flinders Street Station, if any of you have been to Melbourne. So that's the main historic train station here in Melbourne. We actually caught train up here today to that station. Well, we had a little bit of drama because we got here and Willow didn't have any passport photos because she'd left them in the wrong bag in China, so we had to go and hunt around for Australia Post, get some passport photos taken before we actually came out here. And the visa office is only open from 10 till 2, so she's in there now, and like I said, I'm just waiting out the front for her. The sun's about to come out here in Melbourne, so it's a really, really nice day. Anyway, guys, as usual, please stop by the social channels, stop by YouTube, stop by the website. Any help is appreciated because anytime you like something or share something, that increases our reach and more people get to know what we're up to, and that's what we appreciate. Anyway, thanks a lot. Mark from We Travel Alone, out from Melbourne. Bye.